Why would a man's badge record every day of his life, except the night he disappeared? 9:47 p.m. Fluorescent lights hum inside Ridgewell power plant. Rain streaks down the breakroom window. Evan Mercer's jacket still hangs on the back of his chair, untouched. His phone stopped pinging at 9:53 p.m. His car never left the parking lot. And yet, every security door insists he was never there. Rachel Mercer called him twice that night, straight to voicemail. By midnight, she was pacing barefoot by the window, whispering his name into the dark. The last message she reread again and again. Don't wait up. 9:47 p.m. Ridgewell Power Plant. Main subject, Evan Mercer. Badge scan, missing entry. Detective Lauren Pike would later say, every story leaves fingerprints. But in Evan's case, even the machines refused to remember him. Coming up, the locker room camera went dark. What happens in a place built for safety when the only witness is a camera that goes blind? 10:32 p.m. Steam fogs the locker room mirrors. A single fluorescent bulb flickers above row 7. Evan Mercer's work boots sit neatly beneath his locker, mud still fresh on the soles. Rachel told police Evan never left things out of order. Not his boots, not his badge, not his routine. But the West Corridor footage where he'd walk out cuts to static exactly 10 seconds after he enters. 10:32 p.m. Locker room camera offline. Clue number 1. Boots left behind. Time gap, 10 seconds of static. Detective Lauren Pike replayed that footage 37 times. Every frame before the glitch is crystal clear. Every frame after silence, a humming fan, and then nothing. Marcus Dale, his supervisor, swore Evan told him, "See you Monday." But the timestamp proves Marcus had already clocked out. The only sound in that final second was a locker door closing, softly, like someone didn't want to be heard. The badge that logged out without him. How does a badge leave the building when the man who owned it never did? 11:04 p.m. The badge reader at Gate C blinks green. The system records Evan Mercer, exit confirmed. But the security feed shows only a shadow brushing past the red light. Rachel sat in her car outside the plant that night, calling again. The rain had stopped, but the pavement still shimmered like glass. She stared at the glowing entrance and whispered, "Just come out." Inside, his ID card was already gone. 11:04 p.m. Gate C badge scan. Clue number 2. Exit without visual. Suspect timeline. Overlap begins. Detective Pike compared the scan to motion sensors. Nothing matched. Samir Holt insisted no one left through Gate C. The loading bay alarm would have triggered. Only one other badge registered near that door, Marcus Dale's. Marcus claimed he was checking the compressors, but his route log shows a detour toward the locker room 3 minutes before the scan. When technicians pulled the raw server data, they found the scan had been manually overridden by a user ID that no longer existed in the system. The missing 5 minutes of security footage. What if the truth of a man's last moments fits entirely inside 5 minutes the world never saw? 11:05 p.m. The hum of turbines fills the West Corridor. Security lights stutter, throwing long shadows over the concrete floor. For exactly 5 minutes, every camera between the locker room and Gate C goes black. Rachel kept texting, "Are you still at work?" Each message turned blue, unread. By 11:12, her fingers trembled as she typed the same words again, not knowing he'd already vanished inside that dark gap in time. 11:05 to 11:10 p.m. Full camera blackout. Clue number 3. 5-minute data gap. Main suspect, Marcus Dale. Detective Pike traced the outage to a maintenance override keyed in from Terminal B7, Marcus's workstation. But the login occurred after he'd left the control room. Someone else used his credentials. Jenna Vaughn, the new security guard, admitted she saw a figure moving through the corridor with a toolbox. Not Evan. Not Marcus. Someone heavier, wearing an orange safety vest with no ID tag. When power returned, one locker stood open. Inside, Evan's wallet, keys, and a folded piece of paper with 3 words scrawled in oil pen, Check the floor. What they found beneath the grate. What if the floor you walk on every day is hiding the one truth everyone's afraid to face? The maintenance bay smelled of rust and machine oil, a place few went after hours. Detective Pike crouched near the message written in Evan's handwriting. He lifted the metal grate, and a draft of cold air rushed out like the building itself exhaled. Beneath it was a narrow crawlspace, just wide enough for one person. Inside lay a small security tablet, still blinking red. The last footage it captured was timestamped 11:06 p.m., during the blackout. Rachel stood nearby, gripping Evan's badge in her fist. She whispered, "He used to joke that this place could swallow him whole." Her voice cracked. This time the joke wasn't funny. Footage found, 11:06 p.m. Hidden device, unregistered security tablet. Message, check the floor, confirmed in Evan's handwriting. The footage showed a man in an orange vest dragging a heavy object wrapped in plastic. But before the figure reached the frame's edge, the screen glitched and froze on a reflection in a puddle of coolant. A reflection of Evan's face, staring up from the ground, terrified. Pike replayed it again and again, each time noticing something new. A faint symbol painted behind the man, a white 7 circled twice. Maintenance logs confirmed it. Section 7 had been closed for years, yet someone had reopened it that night. Next, the door no one was meant to unlock. Why would a company keep a door sealed for years, then open it the night a man disappears? The hallway to Section 7 was colder than the rest of the building. Every step echoed like a warning. Frost clung to the metal handle, though the air outside was warm. Detective Pike slid Evan's badge through the ancient reader. Shouldn't have worked, but the light turned green. The door creaked open, releasing a wave of damp air and something else, the smell of bleach and old fear. Rachel followed behind, whispering, "He always said this place wasn't safe after dark." Her voice trembled as their flashlights cut through the black, revealing rows of outdated equipment and cables that pulsed faintly, as if alive. At the back of the room stood a single metal chair, bolted to the floor. Next to it, a pair of handcuffs still locked. Restricted zone, Section 7, badge scan accepted, unauthorized entry. Evidence, chair plus handcuffs found. Detective Pike crouched beside the chair and shone his light under it. Etched into the concrete were words carved by something sharp. "Not alone." Rachel's breath hitched. She turned, scanning the shadows, and that's when she saw it. A faint red glow deep inside the tunnel beyond the room. A recording light, still blinking. If that camera was still recording, then whoever took Evan might still be watching them right now. What if the person you're searching for never really left the room? The red light flickered, steady watching. Detective Pike approached the old camera, his breath fogging in the freezing air. Rachel's voice wavered behind him. "What if it's still recording?" He pressed play. The screen crackled to life. Static. Then a dim image of Evan, tied to the same metal chair they'd just found. He was bruised, terrified, but alive. His voice shook as he looked straight into the lens. "Whoever finds this, it's not just one person. It's all of them." Rachel collapsed to her knees, sobbing quietly. Her hands trembled as she reached toward the frozen frame of Evan's face. Detective Pike noticed something else, the faint reflection behind Evan in the video. A group of silhouettes, each wearing the same security uniform. Footage timestamp, 11:14 p.m. Multiple figures detected. Evan's final message. Real-time flow. The recording ended with a single sentence whispered in the dark. Section 7 was never closed. Pike looked at the rusted control panel beside the chair. One switch still flipped to on. He shut it off and the red light died instantly. But as they turned to leave, a new sound echoed through the vents above them. Footsteps. Slow. Heavy. Coming closer. Rachel whispered. "He said it was all of them. Then who's still here?" The hallway lights flickered out one by one, leaving only the glow from the exit sign. The camera's lens turned slightly on its own and pointed toward them. The screen cut to black. Some doors should never be opened. Subscribe to the Veil of Secret For more chilling true stories,